Hi, welcome to my channel Ruby Net Crochet Tejido. In this video I'm going to teach you how to crochet this beautiful crop top cardigan. It's very easy to do. I hope you guys like it and give it a try. And here is the list of material you're going to need to make it. If you are not already subscribed, please subscribe and click the little bell. That way you get notification each time I upload a video. Remember, I make my videos in Spanish and English. If you receive a Spanish video and you want to see in English, go to the main page of my YouTube channel that you will find the English version. To crochet this little cardigan, I'm going to use a 6mm crochet hook. These yarns are Bernat Premium, 100% acrylic, medium 4, 198 grams each. The color of this one is dark gray heather, and this one is gold. I have these buttons that I made with polymer clay. I have 5, and here I don't know if I'm going to use these ones or smaller ones that I made. I don't know yet. I have 5 here. Let's see as I work. You're going to need tapestry needle and I'm going to start with the gray to do the border of the cardigan, the lower part. I'm going to do slip knot. And I'm going to do a chain of 8 plus 1 to turn my work around. You can do less, you can do more, don't have to be even number, can be odd number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 1, 9. You're going to go to the second chain from the hook and you're going to do single crochet, a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we're gonna chain 1 and turn our work around and do 8 single crochet in the back strand. So we're going to be working in this strand here in the back. That's the first single crochet. So you're going to chain 1 and you will see, if you look your work, like 1, 2 chain. So in the second one that you see in the back strand is where you're going to do your single crochet. So that's 1. In every single back strand you're going to do a single crochet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and number 8 you don't want to do in the back strand, you're going to do in the border. You're going to see like a little round knot in the tip in here, and that is where you're going to pass your hook. The first one is a little bit more difficult because it's the beginning of your work. You have to loose that up and you're going to do your last single crochet in here. That will create a even border. So you're going to chain 1 and again you're going to go to the second chain that you see from the hook. See that one that you chain, and this one in the back strand you're going to do your first single crochet. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and again you see in this one it will be much easier. You go in here in the border, that's where you did the chain to go up, and again you will do your single crochet. You will chain 1, turn your work around again in the second chain that you see from the hook. You see that one in the air and this one in your work, and the second one you're gonna do your single crochet, and like that you're going to continue working until you have the desired length for your size. If you want a little bit tighter, you will do smaller. If you want a little bit loose, nice and loose, like an oversized, you will do longer. Remember, you have to leave a space for the border for the buttonhole that we're going to do after with this color. Okay, so again, you go in here to the border where you did the chain. You're going to chain one, turn your work around, and you will continue. So I will meet you here when I have this border done. And go to the end. And you have to make sure that you have your 8 single crochet if you're doing 8 like mine. You always have to have the same amount. That way it's nice and even. You have an even work in this border, and so is in this one here. I finished the border and I look like this. I did 120 rows. I measured 33 inches, 84 centimeters. So now I'm gonna do a row of single crochet, and I have to make sure that it's multiple of 10 those single crochet. You have to keep a count. Even if you have less or more stitches than me, you have to have multiple of 10. So I'm gonna chain one, and I'm gonna do my 120 single crochet. That will be 1 single crochet for each row of single crochet that I did. Like that, I'm gonna continue until I have my 120. And this is the motif that I'm gonna do and the border. So this is one motif, that's 10 stitches, and that's 10 more, that's 20 here side by side. This is the chart that we're gonna use. I'm gonna leave a picture in my Facebook page, Ruby Net Crochet Tejido, and in my Instagram, Ruby Net Crochet Tejido. There you can see the chart, or you can look here. You pause the video and you can copy this in a piece of paper, and it will be easier for you to guide yourself. Now it's every 10 stitches, the repetition that start there. I have 2 repetitions here, and we're gonna start now with both color, with the gray. We want to work with half double crochet, so we're gonna start with a chain of 2, and that counts as the first half double crochet of 4, and that one is on top of the first single crochet. And then you go to the next one and you go and do your half double crochet, and that's your second one, because if you do one in the first half double crochet, you will have 2 at the beginning. So that's 3 and 4 half double crochet. Now we're going to change color. I like to do a slip knot to secure my work. I'm going to press through that loop. I'm going to pull the gray and make sure that the knot is in the other side. And then let me pull really well. Just the beginning is a little bit fiddly to get that new yarn in. There. And then you're going to grab the gold, and with the gold you're going to do 2 half double crochet and the next 2 single crochet. 1 and 2. Pull that tail a little bit. Now you're going to change. You're going to bring up the gray. You're going to do a slip stitch. You're going to pull that gold to tie that loop. And I'm losing the tail at the same time, and doing here in the back of the work. You're going to do in between each 2 gold, you're going to have 8 gray. So that will be 4 and 4, half a motif and half of the next one. Let me pull the gold again, that is getting a little bit loose in here. That way you don't see the loop, you see? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's 10 stitches there. You see, that's one motif. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then you start all over again. 4 gray, 2 gold, 4 gray, 2 gold. In between each 2 gold, you're gonna have 8 because it'll be half at this motif and half at the next one. So you have to do now 4 more for a total of 8 in between. So I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and now I change to the gold again. You bring the gray to the front, the gold from the back, you do the slip stitch, and you pull the gray, and I'm gonna leave that tail in there. I don't need it anymore. Pull again, and you're gonna do 2 with the gold. When you do the first one, you pull the gray a little bit to tie that loose loop, and then you do the next one, and then you bring the gray up in the front, you do the slip stitch, you pull that gold, and now you'll continue with 8 stitches of the gray in between the 2 golds. Okay, at the end you're gonna finish with 4 gray, so you have 4 to these 8, 2, 8, 2, 8, 2. At the end, when you do the last 2 gold with the color you're using, you're gonna trap that color only in 1 more stitch, and you're gonna leave it there, and you're gonna continue with the gray. In this case it's gray for me, I don't know what color you're using, and I'm gonna finish my stitches at the end. You see, I have my 4 stitches at the end. I'm gonna chain 2, turn my work around, and we're gonna start. Now we want to work on 2, so you start with a chain of 2, and that counts as the first half double crochet, and that is the first one in this little hole, you see, and then you go to the next one and you do your half double crochet, and the next one, this time at 3. Now you're going to change color, you're going to bring up the next color, and since this is the wrong side of the piece, you'll have that strand up like this. You're going to pull this one, and now you're going to do 4 with the gold. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're going to change to the gray, and then you're going to bring in the front of the gold, and you're going to pull the strand, and you're going to do now 6 gray. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This time you're going to bring the gold in the front at the gray, because if you bring it in the back, it will be visible in this side of the gray. So you bring the gold up through the front at the gray, you see. Just slip the stitch, you pull, and now you're going to do 4 gold. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now you're going to do 6 of the gray. Now you bring the gray on the front. And you're going to do your 6 half double crochet. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And again you will change with the gold on the front and here, and you do 4 with the gold. And like that is how you're going to continue working your stitches. If you don't do that, you will have a strand showing in here each time you change color. You still see through a little bit of the color as you work, but that's the thing about color work with crochet. You're always going to see that a little bit, no matter what. Even if you do single crochet, you always see that color showing. That's why I don't like to do a lot of color work in crochet, but it's really nice still, even if you have a little peekaboo in there. So continue working this row. Is you start with 3, and then it's 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, and then you finish at the end with 3 other gray. Now at the end of this row, you're gonna leave the gold in this side, so you're gonna do the first of the last 3, and you have to leave the gold in the inside. No, on the other side, because this is the right side of the piece. And you're gonna do your 2 last half double crochet and 1 in the second chain here. You're gonna chain 2. You're gonna turn your work around, and you're ready to work on number 3. And you see all the strand and all this going up and is in the inside of your piece, and this side I look a little bit better. Now we're gonna work. Now for 3, you're gonna start with 2 gray, so the chain 2 counts as the first one. You're gonna do the second one. Remember, this first one, it go on top of the little hole that you see in here. And now you're gonna change to the gold, and then the gold go in the back. That way you don't get the front strand in here. See, that one don't go up, it will go in the inside. And now you're gonna do 6 with the gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now you bring the gray to the front, up, and you're gonna do 4 with the gray. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're gonna bring the gold up from the back, pull, and you're gonna do 6. You have to play around with the strands, bring the up and down, because you want them to be less visible, the change in the front. And 6. When you're working on the right side, always you bring the gold in the back and the gray in the front. And then in the other side, the wrong side, you have to be switching them around. You see? Like that. So you start with 2, and then 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6. At the end you finish with 2 of the gray. As you work your piece, your yarn, it will be wrapping around each other the strands in the wrong side. In the right side it will keep perfect because you're always bringing the gray and the front and you're keeping the gold in the back. But when you work in the wrong side, you are switching them around and then they will, you know, like this, twist. And then you have to untwist them in order to work the right side. That way it'll be easier for you. That way you don't have a mess of twisted yarn at the end of 3. You're gonna do your first half double crochet gray. You're gonna leave the gold and the inside, and then you're gonna do the last one on top of the chain 2, leaving the gold in here. You're gonna chain 2, turn your work around, and now we're gonna work and roll. So now for 4 you're gonna start with 1 gray and then 8 of the gold. So that chain 2 counts as the first one. So you're gonna lift that gold one and you're gonna pass it through that loop. You're gonna pull that one in here and make that smaller, and you're ready to go. And now you're gonna do 8 of the gold. You see, and in the wrong side is where you get that stitch going up. So you're gonna do 8. 1, put that one again. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. You're gonna bring the gray up in the front of the gold. You pull that one up, pull this one, and now you're gonna do 2 with the gray. 1 and 2. Now you're gonna bring the gold in front of the gray, and that's why they will twist or wrap around each other. And this row, you have to do this in order to have a better work in this side. And you're gonna pass the gold, pull the gray, and now again you're gonna do 8 with the gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And again you see the gray in front of the gold. You pull it up, pull the gold, and you're gonna do 2 at the gray, and like that you're gonna continue working in this row. And this is 1 repetition of the motif. Like this is in the wrong side, and like this is in the right side of the piece. I'm gonna finish this row, and we're gonna finish with the gray half double crochet, and you're gonna bring the gold all the way until the end. Do this half double crochet. This time you're gonna bring up the gold. You're gonna slip the gold, pull the gray. You're gonna chain 2 with the gold because now we're switching the colors around. You're gonna turn your work around, and then now we're gonna start the reverse of what we have done so far. Now if you only want to do 1 repetition, I'm gonna do 2. You want to do 1 repetition, you'll continue with the gold, working your cardigan. But if you are doing like me 2 repetition, we're gonna start with 4 gold, 2 gray, a gold, 2 gray, and so on. What we did in row 1, we're gonna do it here, but the reverse of the color. Now we're gonna work 4 gold, and this one is the first one, and it's on top of this gray. So we're gonna do 3 more, and this time you're gonna trap the gray in the back. So that's 2 of 4. 3 and 4, and you're gonna bring this time the gray through the back, because we're the gray now is like we did with the gold in this repetition here. From the back, you pull the gold, and you're gonna do 2 gray, 1 and 2. You bring the gold through the front up, and now you're gonna do 8. 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. You bring the gray from the back up, pull the gold, and you're going to do 2 gray. You're going to bring the gold up from the front, and you're going to do 8 at the gold. And like that, you're going to continue exactly what you did in repetition of row 1. You're doing here, but the reverse. And what you want to finish with 4 gold, and like at row 1 at the end, you're going to trap the gray 1 stitch over. You're going to leave it there, and with the gold you're going to continue working the last 3 half double crochet for a total of 4. 3 and the last one on top of the gray, and 4, and like that you finish that repetition of row 1. Here in 5 you're gonna chain 2, you're gonna turn your work around, and we're gonna work in row 6, that is the repetition of 2. Look like this. And in 2 you start with 3 of the gray. Now we're going to start with 3 of the gold, so that one counts as the first one, and you never go to that first little hole in there, you go to the second one, because that one is on top of that one. Okay, you go to this one, that's 2 and 3. Now you're going to bring the gray up exactly the same as you did with the gold in here. You're going to pass it through, pull the gold tight, and now you're going to do 4 with the gray. 1, 2, 3 and 4. You bring the gold up, and this row you always bring up in the front the yarn that you're going to work with. Now you're going to do 6 with the gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. You see, now you bring this one and the top. Pull that one, and you're gonna work for this one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now you see this one on top of the gray in the front, and now you do 6. So now you're going to be doing 3 to start with, and then 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, and at the end you'll finish with 3 at the goal. At the end of this row, you're going to trap the gray in 1 more stitch. You have to finish with 3. So on the first one you trap the gray. You leave the gray here in the front because this is the wrong side, and you do your 2 last stitches. 1, and the third one on top of the chain 2 space. You're going to chain 2, turn your work around, and you're ready to work in row 7. That is the repetition. Now 7 you're going to start with 2 gold. So this one's the first one. You go to the next one, do your second one. Now you're going to change to the gray, and then this time you bring it through the back. That way the straight line is on the wrong side. And with this one you're going to do 6. Now it's 6 gray, 4 gold, 6 gray, 4 gold, 6 gray. At the end you finish with 2 gold at the end of the row. 1, 5, and 6. You bring the gold from the front, pull the gray, 4 with the gold. You bring the gray from the back, pull the gold, and now 6. 2, 4, 5, and 6. Bring the gold up, and you do 4, and like that you're going to continue until the end at this row 7, and we have one more to do of the motif. And at the end of this row 7 you're going to finish with 2 gold one. You're going to trap the gray in the first one, you're going to leave it on the inside, and you're going to finish with the last half double crochet. You're going to chain 2, turn your work around, and now we're going to work in row 8. That is the repetition of 4, and that will be my last repetition of the motif for mine. If you want, you can do the entire piece like this. You can repeat those 8 row repetition until you have the desired length, but for me with 2 is enough. After that I'll continue working with only 1 color. So now we're gonna work right. We're gonna start with 1 gold, 8 gray, 2 gold, 8 gray, 2 gold, and at the end you're gonna finish with a gold. At the end of this row I'm gonna cut the gray because I don't gonna use it anymore. I will continue with the gold the rest of the little cardigan. So I'm gonna bring the gray up, slip there, pull the gold to tie that stitch or that loop, and this time I'm gonna do 8 of the gray. So that's one. I don't like that one. I don't like the way I look. One, two, three, five, six, seven, and 8. Bring the gold in the front, change to the gold, trap the gray, to the gold, now bring the gray up from the front, and you're gonna do 8. One, two, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. Swish, and 2 with the gold. And after that, you're going to continue until the end. I finished with the gray. I cut the tail. This time you're going to leave it here on the front because this is the wrong side. And you're going to pass the gold. And you're going to do the last stitch with the gold. You're going to chain 2 and turn your work around. And you're done with the color like this. Look what we have done so far. And this part, when I measure through the wider part of my chest. So you're going to give the length of this that you want. You can do a long cardigan, you can do a waist height cardigan, you can do a crop cardigan. This is going to be a crop cardigan. And I measure so far 16 centimeters, that is 6 inches and a quarter. So I'm gonna work just for a little bit more with the gold, and then I will separate the opening for the arms. So you're gonna continue working your half double crochet. Make sure that you have the same amount of half double crochet that you start with, that you don't decrease any. And then you're going to continue back and forth until you have the length that you want, until under the arm. I wanted to mention, if you rather to leave the gray, you can continue with the gray and instead of the gold, and then you just leave that zigzag with the gold in there and do the entire thing in gray. I just decided that I like the gold for the top. So I was working and I realized that this is getting wider in the top for my size. I'm a medium. This is already, I'm making it almost like a large size because I want a little bit loose, but this in the top is too loose for myself. It will be huge. So what I'm doing now is I'm gonna frog those rows and I'm gonna change to a smaller crochet hook, because in this part is perfect, but you're doing color work and the color work tend to stay in place because you're changing you yarn, but in this one the crochet is just loose and it tends to get, you know, bigger. So, and this is nice. Still, it's big for myself, but I want it loose, you know, like a loose crop top. But this is too big. This is almost like an extra large in the top. So what I'm gonna do to fix that, I'm gonna frog those 5 rows, and I don't want to frog the entire piece. So what I'm gonna do is 5mm will be perfect. So this is my first crop top with color work like this, crop top cardigan. So I'm adjusting to my new size. I used to be a large, now I'm a medium, almost a small. This still will be a almost a large size cardigan, so if you're a large, it will work for you. I'm gonna do another one after this, but I'm gonna do it a little more fitted to my size. So you can guide, when I'm doing the next one, you can guide yourself by this one, but the amount of stitches this one is you're making a bigger size. So far I like the way I look. Let's see if it don't tend to open like it was. So I will let you know as I work if I continue with the 5mm or I change to a smaller size. This is the length that I gave to mine. Like I mentioned, mine gonna be a crop top. If you want it longer, you can do more. This one measured 23 centimeters, that is 9 inches. And I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows. And now I'm gonna separate the opening for the arm, you know, the 2 pieces for the front and the back. I'm gonna have double crochet for 28 stitches. I'm gonna leave 2 without working any here to separate the for the sleeve, and 28 for the other side, leaving 2 in this side, and then the back you'll work straight up. So you're gonna work them separate, these 3 pieces. So you're gonna continue with the half double crochet, and yes, I continue working with the 5mm crochet hook. Remember, I work until here with the 6mm. From the gold part is the 5mm because it was getting too big, like I mentioned before, and now it's much better. So I'm gonna work for around 18.5 to 19 centimeters for the open of my sleeve. So you'll have to measure the size that you're making. These are the 28 stitches that I want to work for the opening for the sleeve to separate the front and the back of the little crop top cardigan. I'm working at the end of row 8, and I'm gonna do a decrease here for the front, and I'm working, you see I had 2 stitches here left. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do my half double crochet that I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna wrap again and go to the last one and do the last one, close those 5 loops, and you know you don't want to chain 1, you're gonna turn your work around, and the same stitch in the top that look like a chain in here, you're gonna do a single crochet and chain 1, and instead of doing 2 chains, you do a single crochet and a chain of 1, and then you go to the next space and you do your half double crochet, and this time you'll have 27 half double crochet because you decrease 1, and I start to go in an angle like this, you see. So this is now row 9. At the end of 10 I will do a decrease, at the end of 12, at the end of 14, at the end of 16. I'm working in row 10 and I have 25 half double crochet. This time the decrease not going to be like the first one in here, that was just for the first decrease. Now you're going to work your half double crochet in the number 26, and you're going to leave this one with no stitch, the last one, number 27. You have your double crochet, you're going to chain 1, you're going to turn your work around, and in that same space on top of that half double crochet, you're going to do a single crochet, and you're going to chain 1. And we're doing that way you don't get a hole in here, a big gap in the stitch, because that single crochet will make a little bit thick in there. So you're going to continue with your half double crochet, and total you will have in this one 26. So you will do a decrease in number 12 and you will have 25. You do a decrease in number 14, you will have 24, and in 16 you'll have 23 if you're doing the same size opening for the arm like me. So it starts to look like this in an angle, you see, on the front. And then I will finish this one after I show you the next decrease. You can continue by yourself. I will show you one more time, and then I will show you how to do on the other side of the front of the card. Here I have my 24 stitches in row 12. 25 is in here, and you see this one is 26. So you're going to leave that one without working. You're going to chain 1. You're going to turn your work around, and in that space of that same stitch of number 25, you're going to do a single crochet, chain 1, and continue working your half double crochet until the end. And that's the next decrease, and like that you're going to continue until you're done the length. And it starts to look like this. And once we do in the border in here, it will be nice and even. Like this will look like. And this side, I'm going to show you how to do the back and then the other side of the front. Now I'm going to work in the back, and I'm going to work the same way that you're supposed to when you start in that row. So I'm going to do slip knot. I'm going to leave 2 stitches, and the third one I'm going to pass the loop, and I'm ready to work. And you're going to do your half double crochet, and on the other side you have to leave 30. It's 2 for the space in between and 28 for the other side. So I'm going to work on this side, on the back, and then there's on the other side of the front, and then I will meet you here. Once you finish your 16 rows for the back, you're going to work 23 stitches in here and 23 on the other side. That way it will give you a little extra for the shoulder and the back, and the separation for the neck. So you're gonna chain here, and you're gonna work 23 stitches, the same amount of stitches that you left for the front, and it will be, you know, like a little piece for the shoulder here. So do that in both sides of the back, and so once you finish those 23, you will leave 14 without working, and here you'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and number 15. You're going to start working, and that is 1, where the hook is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23 with a 1 at the end. So those are the other 23 stitches on each side, and 14 in the center for the neck. To start on the other side, you're going to do a slip knot. Create a loop. You're going to pass that loop through that stitch, and you're going to start working your 23 stitches. This will be number 1 of 23. do those 23 stitches, and I will meet you here to now we're going to work on the other side, and you have to work from the right to the left. That way all the stitches look uniform as you look your piece. They are all done the same direction. So you come to this side, you're going to leave 2 stitches in here, you go to the next one, and the third one you have a slip knot. You're going to pass the slip knot, and you're going to continue working those 28 stitches for 7 rows, and number 8 I will measure here to start the decrease in the front. I finished row 7. Now you're going to chain 1, turn your work around, and now we're going to do the decrease. And for the decrease, you're going to skip a top of the same stitch. You're going to go to the next one, and you're going to pass through and do a single crochet and chain 1, and you decrease the first stitch here. Now you're going to continue working, and in total you will have 27 half double crochet. You're going to turn your work around, work those 27 stitches, and then I will measure here for row 10. I finished that row. Gonna chain 1, turn my work around. I'm gonna skip on top of that first stitch. I go to the next one, do the single crochet, chain 1, and continue. Now you'll have 26 half double crochet. You're gonna turn your work around at the end, and then when you start again the next even row, you will do the decrease, and you continue doing the decrease until you have the same amount of rows that you have for the other side. And you can see that I start to go at an angle like so, and here as well. So I will work on this side, and then we'll sew the shoulders, do the sleeve, work on the border with the buttons, and for the buttons like that in the front. Now we're gonna sew the shoulder, and I'm gonna use the next ball of yarn because it's not enough for the sleeve with this color, and with the gray we'll do the border and here and the little cuff for this. I already sew together the shoulder. This is in the right side, and this is in the wrong side here. Now I'm going to show you how to do that. Here I'm going to show you a close-up what I'm doing. So here you have your half double crochet, and you have like a chain, another one here, and in between you pass your needle like that, and then you go to the next stitch. Remember, you have to match each stitch because you have the same amount. That way it's nice and even. You pass it when you pull, and you close the shoulder here. So like that you're going to continue all the way until the end. After that you lose all your little tails, and I'm going to work in the first sleeve. That way I can write down every single thing that I will do in the first one. That way when I'm working in the second one, I will show you what to do. For the sleeve, I will be working with my second ball of yarn of the gold, because I don't have enough to do the sleeve with this. So if you don't have a second ball like me, what you can do is with this one you can do a 3/4 sleeve, and you can do a little border with the rest of the gold, and then you will do the front border of the cardigan with some of these. I made one of the sleeve and I work 49 half double crochet. I decrease until I have 40. I work those 40 until I have the length before the little cuff, and then I did a round of decrease. I end up with 28 stitches. I did my first round of single crochet with the gray, and I did in the second one a decrease, and I end up with 24 stitches. I work those 24 stitches of single crochet until I have the length, and total was 38 rows from the beginning to the end. And I measure 15 inches 38 centimeters. So that's what we're going to do now. And the other sleeve, we're going to start here in the center where we left those stitches with the work underneath the arm. With a 5mm hook, I'm going to do a slip knot. And you're going to come here to any of these two space, and you're going to pass that loop. You're going to chain one. You're going to do a single crochet, and you're going to chain one, and that counts as the first half double crochet. That's what I did in the other sleeve. That way you don't get any little hole or anything underneath. At the same time, I'm going to lose that tail. I'm going to do half double crochet in the next one, and the half in here. You see this one that go up, and this one in the same space. The next one, and then now you will do a half double crochet all the way around. Try to have an even work. Space them out and count how many you do in this one, because you have to have the same amount that you do in one for the other one. For me, I had to make sure that I have 49. That's what I had, or I have in the other one. So you can have 50, but you have to make sure that you have 50 in the other one. You can have 48, you have to make sure that you have 48 in the other one. Don't have to be exactly 49. It's the way I space them out mine, that at the end there were 49. So go ahead, do this first round, and I will make sure here. I finished the round. I'm gonna do a slip stitch on the chain space. I'm gonna chain one, the single crochet, and chain one. We're always gonna end and start the next round like this. Now in this one you're going to do a half double crochet on each half double crochet with no decrease, for a total of the same amount that you did from the round before. For mine is 49. So in the next one I will do the first round of decrease. I'm going to finish here with the slip stitch on the chain, and you finish the second round. Now we're going to do the round of decrease. I'm going to chain one. I'm going to do a single crochet in the same space, chain one. Now in the next space I'm going to do a half double crochet that I'm going to finish, yarn over, go to the next space, and close those two half double crochet. That's a decrease, and you're going to continue with half double crochet all the way around, and you will do another decrease at the end, two together. So you'll continue with 1 on each space until the end of this round. I'm gonna do the last decrease, and it's in this stitch and in this one and here, okay, and that one. So you do a half double crochet that you don't finish, and you go to the next one, you slip, and then you go to the chain, do a slip stitch, and you finish that round a decrease. Again, you will start all over again with a chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, and then you're gonna do a half double crochet on each half double crochet. And the next one you will do a decrease, one with decrease, one without decrease, and like that you will continue until you have 41 stitches, because we have odd number here. After you do that with 41 with decrease and one without decrease, and the one after that you'll decrease only 1 stitch to end up with 40. After that you'll continue working those 40 stitches until you have the length. For mine was 27 round, and number 28 I decrease, and here for the cuff with the gold, and then in 29 I work with the gray, and then I continue working with the gray until I have the rest of the length. So you will continue working like I showed you, one round without decrease, one with decrease, one without, one with, exactly as I show you here, nothing different, just those decrease every second round, and until you have 40 stitches. So once I have the length until here, I will be here to show you how to change this. I wanted to mention, if you have even number to start with, you will decrease until you have your 40, and try your piece, because maybe you will want more decrease, or maybe you want less decrease, and exactly the same for the length. Maybe you want it longer, maybe you want it shorter. You have to try as you go, because I don't know exactly what size are you making. I finished round 27. Now in 28 I'm gonna do the last round, and this is a decrease round. I'm gonna chain 1, I'm gonna do a single crochet, and then the next 2 I'm gonna do them together. So I'm gonna do a single crochet that I don't want to finish, go to the next one and do those 2 together. I'll do a single crochet in the next one and the next 2 together, one in the next one and the next 2 together, and like that I'm gonna continue all the way until the end of this round of decrease. And then after that I'm gonna work with the gray. I finished with the gold. Now with the gray I'm gonna do a slip knot. I already cut the yarn here. I'm gonna put it to the side to loose as I work. I'm gonna pass the loop. I'm gonna chain 1, and that space I want to do a single crochet, and I'm gonna do a single crochet on each space. And in the next round I will do another round of decrease to end up with 24 single crochet, and then after that I will work those 24 single crochet, and like that is how it looks. I finished that round and I have 28 single crochet. I'm gonna chain 1 in the same space. I'm gonna do a single crochet, that's 1, and then 2, 3, 4 single crochet, and the next 2 together. And again I'm going to continue 4 single crochet and 2 together. At the end I will end up with 24 single crochet, and those 24 single crochet I will work until I have the length that for this one was until round 38 at the length of the entire sleeve. So in 29 I change the color and then I'll finish in 38. And then you will cut your yarn, lose your tails. I still have to lose this tail, and you will work the 2 sleeves exactly the same, and then I will meet you here to work in the front of the Now I have my 2 sleeve, and so far I absolutely love it, the way it looks. So now we're gonna do the band for the buttons, and I'm gonna be with the gray, and I'm gonna leave 3 buttonhole only, 1 here on the border, 1 here in the center, and 1 around here. Only 3 because this is a little crop top cardigan, so you don't need that many buttons. We're gonna start with a slip knot. And here on the right side of your cardigan, this is the wrong side because these strands that go up, other than that, almost can be reversible. So I'm gonna come here to this stitch in the corner. I'm gonna pass the slip knot. I'm gonna chain 1, do a single crochet in the same space, chain 1, and that's the half double crochet, and then I'm gonna do half double crochet all the way around. And at the same time I'm losing that tail. So when you're doing the half double crochet, don't make them too close to each other, because otherwise you will start to do a wave, and you want this nice and straight. So you're gonna go all the way around to the other side. So you're gonna go half double crochet all the way around the neck and all the other side, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1 for a half double crochet, and you're gonna do half double crochet on top of each half double crochet. And the third one, we're gonna do the buttonholes, and then after that we'll do 2 more rounds or rows for a total of 5 for the button band. After the first row, it will look like this. So for the second one, I'm going to chain 1, turn my work around, and that first space I'm going to do a single crochet, chain 1, and that counts as the half double crochet, and I'm going to do half double crochet on each half double crochet. And in the next one I will do the buttonholes. I wanted to show you how I'm doing this second row. You see, I'm creating a line here with a stitch, and if you look at your stitches of your half double crochet, you have like a chain in here with 2, but if you flip it over, you have an extra strand in here. You see, you have 1, 2, and 3. So that third one in here is the one I'm not working. I'm leaving that one and just grabbing these 2. And I start to grab the one in the top and the one in the back and grabbing the one in the front and the one in the top, leaving the third one behind to create a nice line in here. It will be the line as you see it in the work in here. Okay, but that is my my taste. I want mine to look like that. You don't have to. You can have yours like this, flat. You see, without the line. That's without, and that is with. Because if you grab like you're supposed to, those two in the back, the line will be in the wrong side, and I want the line to be in the right side of my work, so I grab these two. You see, grabbing in here, leaving that one in the right side. So yesterday I made these polymer clay buttons, they're like acrylic, and I made them exactly the same color as the cardigan. I absolutely love them. So I'm gonna put one here, and one there, and the other one over here, sort of like that. I made 5 because that's the amount of clay that I prepared. So, and I put a little bit of sparkle on it. I don't know if you see it, but they're really nice. I love making buttons. So now we're gonna leave the buttonhole for the size of your button. Now for the third row, again you're gonna chain 1, turn your work around. Gonna do a single crochet in the first one, and a chain. That's the first half double crochet. I'm gonna do a half double crochet, another one for a total of 3. Now I'm gonna chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. So for mine, because they're big buttons, I chain 3. Maybe for yours is 2 or 1, depending on the size of the button that you are sewing in your piece. So 1, 2, 3, and number 4, I'm gonna do my half double crochet. And I'm going to continue doing half double crochet and then until the next buttonhole. But first I'm going to measure to see if my button fits through there. It's a big space, but my buttons are big, so you'll see that will pass from one end to the next one, and they will be there. Gorgeous. Here I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 half double crochet. I'm gonna chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over. I'm gonna skip 1, 2, 3, and number 4, I'm gonna do a half double crochet, and I'm gonna do half double crochet for 11 repetition, 11 half double crochet, and then after that I will do the same with the next buttonhole. I will do a chain of 3, skip 3 space, go to the 4, and do my half double crochet, and I'll continue doing half double crochet all the way around, and the space for the buttons will be like this. I finished the row. I chain 1, I did a single crochet, chain 1, that counts as the first half double crochet, and I'm gonna do my half double crochet exactly the same as I did in row 2. Through that strand in the front and the one in the top, leaving the other one in the back. And like that, I'm gonna do this row 4. When I get to the chain 3 space, I'll do half double crochet on each, 3 half double crochet, and I will finish that row. I come back with another one, that will be number 5. After that, I'll cut the yarn, loose the tails, sew the buttons, and you'll have your cardigan done. I work here in my first chain space, and I wanted to explain you something. When you work your half double crochet from the right side, you know, all the way to the other end, if you look this half double crochet, the top of the half double crochet is this space in the top, and if you count the chain space counting that one, you will have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 chain space in here. So you have to do 4 half double crochet, but the number 4 is the first one for the 3 in here, or the 11. So I wanted to mention that, that way you guys can see in the way back, because you're not working in the round. So in here, if you look, I have 4 half double crochet, but is this one, the number 4 is the first one of 11. So I have here 1, 2, 3, and then this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. I'm ready to work 1, 2, and 3 for the open space of the button, and then this will be the first one of the 11 until here. So you will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then you'll do 1, 2, and 3, and then you'll do 1, 2, and 3. Okay? So I wanted to explain you that, just in case you leave a space thinking that you're increasing, you're not increasing, is that in the other side, the top of the half double crochet is to the right. When you work and the right side is to the left, but when you flip it over, it's to the right. I finished number 4, working in number 5. Work all the way around, and this is the last row. It will look like this, and when you put the button, it will be nice. I already sewed 2 buttons, and I'm sewing them with the gold yarn. So you're gonna even your cardigan in the border, and then whatever place you see the buttonhole, you'll place the button underneath, and that's where you're gonna sew them. And the good thing about my buttons that I made, that the holes are nice and big, that I can sew them with my yarn. These are the leftover yarn. This one from the ball of gray, and this for the 2 ball of the gold. So I will wind them up in our yarn winder, and I'll use them for another project. I think for my next little crop top cardigan, I'm planning to do another one. I will use this one for an accent. Well, this is the end result, and I absolutely love the way this cardigan look. It's a little crop top cardigan. They look amazing. They're in style this year. All the short blouses, cardigans, sweaters, and here you can make your own. This is from a medium to a large size, but if you like to wear loose cardigan and you are small, you can wear it. The mannequin is small. And I tuck it in under here. That way it look a little bit smaller, but it's nice and loose. You see, it's not tight at all. It looks really, really nice. And remember, when I measure this for myself, this part, I measure in the wider part of my chest, and that's why it's a little bit more loose in here. But it looks amazing. I absolutely love it. And I hope you guys like it. And give it a thumbs up. And subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber. And if you make this beautiful cardigan and you want to send me some pictures, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Net Crochet Tejido, or my Instagram, Ruby Net Crochet Tejido. Please share my video with friends and family. That way you help me grow here in YouTube. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye.